OK, we are live. Sean，你可以 try 一下。
Hello，嗨，又见面了。
又见面了。
OK，来，我们要 like and share，怎么录
对，
？OK，我看到了。
看到了吗
OK，like and share。
？Like a share，我也是 like a share，like a
Like
share，share
and share。
在我的 group。
OK，我要按了啊。
好，可以。
OK，go。Done。
OK，good evening, everyone. All the friends of Happy Man and all the friends of Sean Wong.
Yes，Happy Hi。
Happy coach. 谢谢。So previously I did an interview, I think about a month back, 一个月前有 interview 了 Sean，为了我们华州的 47 Annual College Day, and today I've invited him again to interview because his story is so amazing and so encouraging and inspirational. Okay, well before we jump into the story, Sean, 你可以介绍一下 what are you currently doing now?
Okay, so first, thank you so much for coming on live. Thank you for this happy coach Yuan Tai for inviting me. Yeah. So we are very excited because we just celebrated our anniversary for our Hua Chong. And I think it is a good chance for all of us to come together and also to share some inspiring stories and some of our very difficult journeys, especially during this very difficult pandemic period. So I was very badly affected as well. So I think a lot of people are also going through hardships and not easy. So for me, I have been running quite a number of businesses. Unfortunately, a lot of my businesses were also impacted. Yeah. So I'm an entertainer. I'm a singer-songwriter. So I have gone to the behind the scenes to support other singers, to support other very big names. For example, like Senator Manny Pacquiao. So I'm also his agent.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So I do a lot of entertainment stuff. So I did his concert in 2019, just before COVID, in Manila. Very big scale concert. But unfortunately, we wanted to do that last year again, but no more. We can't do that because of COVID. We had to wait. Yeah, and I've also been dabbling with some technology stuff. Because of COVID, I have also got to pivot into digitalization.
Wow, amazing.
A very difficult journey, but thanks to some of the people who are very good in technology guiding me, so my businesses have started to pivot. And now I'm also running an initiative called the SG Life Initiative. It is to pool resources together, bring Singaporeans together, and I pull a lot of contacts, networks together to help other Singaporeans who are also suffering during this pandemic, especially those industries that are very badly affected, like the tour industry, F&B industry, the entertainment industry. Yeah, and so just very recently, I did a project to support the hawkers in need. So we helped them to raise some funds to buy their food, and then we delivered their food to help the charity organizations as well. So running this initiative is to also help myself understand more about technology and how we can use technology to the fullest purpose. Yeah, so it's not just about building a business, but a business with a purpose. So during COVID, I've learned a lot. I've basically a lot of the traditional stuff that I've been doing no longer works. So I've also got to work very hard to change it into a digital technology platform. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Yeah, so I've been doing education teaching people about live streaming. I've also been teaching people about motivation, about self-development, self-empowerment. So all this I'm doing. Yeah. And I also have the license for, I've also some licenses. So I bought the license for Miss World Singapore and Miss World Malaysia. So I do that because they have a mission called Beauty with a Purpose. So the reason why Miss World is so successful in the world is because they have this very powerful mission that empowers young women to make positive change in society. So every single year we do a lot of charitable projects, and we empower those young women to be able to do good in society and to be able to influence other people to also do good. So I took up the license because I believe in the mission. And so every year I've got to do this very big scale event in order to find the best representatives of Singapore and Malaysia to go to the World Finals, and eventually they become ambassadors of charities. Also hit by COVID, not so easy to travel now. So I have to run everything remotely, and also have to find people who are willing to still travel despite the difficult measures that are now in place for traveling. But the meaning behind the whole business is still there. So I'm still going to pursue that. And I still want to continue to pursue this mission despite the difficulties. So no matter what it is, we still continue to run this. So in order to make this feasible, I've also built a digital platform called HyperLife. So it's hyperlife.tv. So build it as a digital platform to be able to stream live shows. So whether it's entertainment shows, Ge shows, or educational tours, or just variety programs. So that platform is to be able to pivot into digitalization and also help other companies that want to digitalize their events, digitalize their stuff into very meaningful shows powered by celebrities and powered by technology. So we have just started that, and it was quite a very interesting journey for me because it's something very new, something that's also very disruptive. But I think we have all no choice, because if I don't do that, my events are all gone. So I have to venture into that and continue my journey. So I do quite a number of things. So, but very exciting journey. I've just
I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start. Okay.
But that's how we have to, embrace change. During this kind of times, what to do. I've got to keep learning and learning and learning. You learn new things, non-stop.
Absolutely agree. Okay, so you mentioned a lot of things. Okay, I'm going to start one by one. So I'll start with the hawker project. Can you tell us a little bit more about the hawker project?
Okay, I have been producing some shows for quite a number of years. And during COVID, there was no way that we could produce events. So eventually, when COVID hit, I was also very badly affected in terms of my business. And I know how difficult it is for some businesses to digitalize, especially some older hawkers. So we have also noticed in the scene of the hawker that many of them are suffering because of the COVID situation. So a lot of the restrictions that are in place, even until now, although the hawker centers are opened up, but they are restricted to only 2 per table. So, the difficulty when I speak to the hawkers that they told me that, while it's open up, but a lot of the people that have been supporting them last time, they used to gather in groups. So because hawker now in one table, you can only have 2 people. So a lot of these friends of theirs decided to go to the restaurants instead. So it indirectly affected them. The older hawkers are not able to pivot into technology yet.
Correct.
So they have some difficulties onboarding, even Food Panda, onboarding Grab Food. So they can't get the deliveries, even though they tried. So I've spoken to this hawker at Golden Mile Hawker Food Center. So he's 73 years old, know nothing about technology. He even tried to take photos with me using his phone, but his phone is unable to even start. And he doesn't know why he can't start. And I checked for him, it is because his memory is full, and he doesn't understand why it's not possible to even start a phone. So for hawkers like him, it's going to be a big challenge during this period because once there's a lockdown or semi-lockdown of the hawker center, basically they can't even move into online deliveries and they suffer. So he has been telling me that during the high alert period, he makes less than $100. Yeah, and that's very sad for a older hawker like him, because he can't cover his costs. Even though with a lot of the subsidies that are in place for the rental, but he still has manpower costs. And he keeps the ingredients and it can't sell, so the ingredients also they have to throw away.
Yep. They have
after we speak to them, we decided to help. Yeah, but for me, I don't want to just support one time, and
Correct.
I don't think it's useful to just give a handout.
Yep.
Because they need to survive. So what we did was I decided to produce a show. So the show, in order to garner a lot of support, I got Marcus Chin involved, Chen Jianbing. So Chen Jianbing has got a lot. So he's my very good friend. So we came together and we said, okay, let's do this. So I call it the Celebrity Tour with the Stars, Hawkers Untold Stories Edition. Right. So we want to talk
Untold Story Edition.
Yeah, we want to talk about their stories, their inspiring stories, and we want the people online to be able to get influenced, to come and support, because they now know that it is going to be very difficult for them if they don't support. Yeah, but to do even more, I also came out with another strategy that Marcus Chin will go online live, interview the hawker, and at the same time, on the same day, we will garner support from sponsors to buy the food straight away and donate the food to the old folks' home. Yeah, so when there is a cause like that to sponsor meals for old folks, a lot of sponsors are very happy to do that. Yeah, so instead of just supporting the hawker, we are now sponsoring meals for the older folks. And the best we can do is, once the people are very keen to support the older folks, we use the funds that are raised for the meals to buy from the hawker that has no business, right? So we pool the resources together, and very gladly, in one short show, 79 minutes show, so we managed to raise more than $2,000 of meal sponsorship. So we can support the elderly for a few days, and we can also support the hawker for a few days. And during the show, we garnered almost 18,000 views. 18,000. So in a short 79 minutes, 18,000 people actually watched. And
it's through Facebook Live or what?
So it's through our channel, which is hyperlive.tv. At the same time, it is also streamed to Marcus Chin's Facebook page, because his fans are there. We need to also let the fans know. So together we garnered 18,000 views. And when you have such a strong viewership, there are definitely people who are very keen to support. So while we were doing the show, immediately their phone rang, and immediately they said they watched the show and they wanted to order 10 packets from him. Just like that. So what we're trying to do is we use the show as an entertainment form, so that we can attract viewership. At the same time, we interview the hawkers to let people understand their untold stories, to let people know their difficulties and their hardships. And then, of course, there are many kind souls who immediately want to come and support. They will go and support them to eat every single day for the next few days. But what's more important is we want to immediately support them. So we immediately buy hundreds of packets of food from the hawker itself and donate the food straight away to the old folks' home. So when we reached the old folks' home, we are also very fortunate that Member of Parliament, Ms. Tin Pei Ling, was there to also distribute the food to the elderly folks. And I think that gesture was very meaningful and very encouraging for all of us who are volunteers, and for all of us who want to do good in our own way possible. It's not easy, because during COVID, we are also affected by our own businesses are also very badly impacted. We all think that through an initiative like SG Life, we can actually come together. And while you have difficulty, I also have difficulty, you also have difficulties, but never mind, we all come together. And then with whatever strength that we still have within ourselves, right? We come together, we have unity, we have strength. And there are a lot of sponsors who are very willing to support people in need. So they come together also, and then we pool funds together, we work together with charities, and then we get all these things done. So what we hope to do is to continue to do this week after week. So in the coming Sunday, I'm going to do another show, 3 p.m. on hyperlive.tv. And we're going to now support some of the hawkers also facing pandemic problems all the way at Pasir Ris site. So yeah, we're going to support a few hawkers this time round. Yeah. So some of these were recommended by people who have watched the show. They said, "Oh, I know this hawker that is in need. So can you go and support them and help them?" Yeah. Then we will go down and talk to them, and if they have a story that is genuine, and we realize that they really need help, then the same thing will happen. We will get a celebrity down, talk about their food, and then do our best to support. At the same time, promote their food. Yeah. So this entire initiative, I think is meaningful. But because I'm into production, the best way that I can contribute is to produce variety shows to make something like that happen. Yeah. So it's also fun and it's also very meaningful. Yeah.
How can the audience, the people who are watching this show, be involved in this particular movement? Hawkers Untold Stories. How can they be involved? Is there a channel like Hyperlife TV?
Yes, we run quite a lot of publicity before the show, and of course during the show and after the show. So if the audience are keen to support, you just need to tell us what do you want to support in. Do you want to just recommend us the hawker that's in need, and then we'll do our own recce? Or do you want to recommend us a charity beneficiary that wants to receive the sponsored meals? That's also fine. You just need to tell us where to go, and then if you can connect us, we will be glad to do that. But of course, we have limited resources. We can't support everybody. We need to recce. Or if you want to do meal sponsorships, then just contact us directly and tell us what you want to buy. And whatever we buy, we will just donate it as a meal sponsorship to the beneficiaries. So you just tell us what you want. And how to tell us that? You can go to hyperlife.tv's Facebook page. We are doing a lot of publicity all through the week. So hyperlive.tv. So that is a Facebook page where you can comment, and of course you can direct message us. But the actual show is on hyperlive.tv. It's a website. It's a online platform, right?
Yeah,
so
just put it on the ticker below.
Yes, you don't watch the show at the Facebook page. You watch the show on our domain, hyperlive.tv.
Hyperlife.tv.
But if you want to support the hawkers, you can go to hyperlife.tv's Facebook page, and you can leave us a direct message and then tell us what you want to do to support. Now, any amount of meal sponsorship is fine, right? Typically, a meal costs about $4 to $6, depending on what kind of meals. Yeah, so just tell us how many meals you want to buy, and then we'll buy it on your behalf, and then we'll just donate it out. So that is what we think Singaporeans can do together, right? Those with some resources, they can come in and then they can contribute. And then for people like us, we try to pull them together and to make something out of this and make it meaningful. Yeah.
Wow.
So I think,
amazing. Where do you get the inspiration to launch such an initiative? Because this is very grassroots.
Actually, because I've been doing community work for quite many years now, so I have also some experiences on how to support some beneficiaries. But in COVID, a lot of things cannot be done. Last time when we support charities or we support beneficiaries, we run very large-scale events. So we are very hands-on. We do the drives, we do the donation drives, and it's all physical events. So we do very good gala dinners where we can involve the donors, then the beneficiaries, and then the people that we want to support. They are all there, so it's very easy for us to sell our ideas. But because of COVID, everything goes online, right? So I have to think out of the box. So the best way we can do is to do live streaming, right? But in live streaming, if we are just telling people to support, very difficult, because a lot of charities do it online to try to garner funds. Not so easy, because live streaming is not. I can't see you face to face.
It's a bit impersonal, There's
it's still very different, right? Of course, there are people online who's willing to support, but you can't do the exact experience. But for me, with the background of being an entertainer and also a producer of shows, I realized that maybe the best way is to bring out the real, authentic stories that you may not know. Speak to the people who are in need, and they come and tell you why they need help. And that is very effective. And it is live. It is something that I cannot hide. I'm not editing it out. Whatever they say, whatever you see, if it's real, you decide for yourself whether you want to support. So that's very different. So we don't do pre-production. We do live production. So you see for yourself what we ask him and how he's going to share his untold stories. And if it's inspirational enough, it's very, very natural that the audience will want to support. And that kind of support is very authentic, and of course is nothing that is need to be forced, right? And we show them exactly what the money is going to be used for. We buy the food straight away, and Marcus Chin and myself, we carry all the food, and through the live streaming, we have no editing, no cut. We drive all the way down to the beneficiary, and you can see us from this journey all the way from destination 1 to destination. Yeah, you see us moving with the food, and we deliver it straight to the beneficiary. You can see, right? And then you can see the beneficiaries, how happy they are, right? So all these are authentic through life. And I think that kind of stories, if we tell it very often, more people will come on board to want to support, right? So this kind of inspiration, well, it's from many sources. People come and tell us ideas. And from our own experiences, we try to figure out what we think is the best. And because it's live, we actually, if you go and see our production, it is very unique. We run the entire production using only one mobile phone.
哇！你在为 iPhone 打广告啊？
Only one phone. We never bring any lights. No, all authentic. One phone. The moment we press go live, that's it. And then all the way we do the live show until the beneficiary receives the best thing. Yeah. So there's no rara. Right? We never beautify anything. Right? There's no extra lights that will make you look better. No, don't have. Yeah, everything authentic. Even the microphone is not mic'd up.
I think it's a new kind of a reality TV that is really very meaningful.
Yeah, but we want to show people also, actually, if we can do it with one mobile phone, right? Anybody can also do that to support. You can run your own show.
That's true.
Right? You just click go live, and then after that, you just do it, and then support. Ask people to come and help this hawker. So this is an initiative. If we can start, and then we can inspire enough people to do it, everybody use one phone and do the same thing, and it multiplies all across Singapore. Now the hawkers will all be okay.
Sean, I think you just gave me an idea. I think I'll do it on a regular basis. I'll just support. I'll just run another parallel series, the Happy Man helping people.
Yeah. But of course, we also understand the difficulty in live streaming. If you have no supporters, when you go online, there are only very few people watching. You can't garner that strong support. So what I did was I tag team together with Marcus Chin to start off the program.
Yeah.
So of course his fan base will come in first, and then when they like and share, on that day itself, before we even start the show, that means once the thing goes live, we garnered 280 shares.
Wow.
That means 280 shares. Yeah, so they spread the word very fast. Then more people know, then everybody come on board, right? That's why there's 18,000. So actually everybody can do the same. Even if you don't have that kind of celebrity influence, never mind. Right, you can influence 10 people, but when they like and share, then 100 people knows. Then over time, more and more people do this, and it will just spread. So we call this the SG Live initiative. So hopefully all Singaporeans come together and support everyone who is in need. Now, we don't know who is in need. That's the most difficult part, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You know which hawker needs help. So you need to tell us, and then we pull the resources together. You tell us which hawker is in need, then we go and support that hawker, right? And then the hawker will do better. Then we go and find other hawkers, right? But you know how many hawkers are there in Singapore? We can't.
A lot.
Yeah. So if everybody duplicates, this thing can scale very fast. Yeah. So that I think that is more meaningful. Yeah. It's a unity. Everybody must come together during this pandemic.
It's called be helpful, be happy.
Be helpful, be happy. Yay.
Yeah, I think that's a very important principle. I think during this period of time, when sometimes we like, I myself included, we like to focus a lot on our own problems, a lot on our own situation. But if we start to look around us, look at people around us, then realize, hey, actually there are people that we can help, even though we are going through difficult times. So I think yours is a really good example. So your business is also badly affected in the events and everything, MC, hosting, production, all affected.
Very, very badly affected. Yeah, can you imagine 1.5 years not even possible to run an event. Right? And my whole business is on big events. I only run big events. So when they came out with the rules, how do you even run one event? So there's no way, right? So I have to shut down for 1.5 years, hibernate, and wait for opportunity. But even until now, how to do an event, right? So if I didn't pivot fast enough, I would have to close shop also, right? So all of us do the same thing, right? Is whether or not we manage to survive it using another way. So so while I'm still suffering from the impacts of pandemic, but I don't think I should wait further to do something meaningful to help other people first, right? But I think if everybody comes and support each other, then everybody will survive.
Yes, correct, exactly. Unity. 团结就是力量。
That's right.
and also don't always focus on our own problems. Sometimes the moment we see people they need help even more, then we realize we have certain resources, certain talent that we are blessed with, then we can use it to bless other people. That's why be helpful, be happy.
You see, it's a very simple thing that we did. Basically, somebody needs to eat, right? Yeah, so since somebody needs to eat, and many people are very happy to sponsor a meal for elder folks or for beneficiaries who are in need, right? Nobody will want to reject sponsoring a meal for somebody who's in need. So just need to tell everybody that, hey, I want to do this, then a lot of people will be willing to sponsor the meal. So if somebody wants to eat the meal and somebody is willing to pay for the meal, then it's very easy for you to support somebody, right? And then you just need to find that person who don't really make so much money now, but he has very good food that will make the elderly very happy. So all we need to do is to piece the whole thing together, right? So run it as a project, and it's done. So many parties are happy. So for the beneficiaries, they are happy because they got a good meal, sponsored by a very generous donor. And for the hawker, he survives because somebody is willing to buy his food to give it out instead of waiting for a customer to come, right? We go to them and we buy it. And for the person who wants to run this project, it's also very meaningful. He also fulfills his ISR, we call.
Correct.
Individual social responsibility, right? So everybody is happy. Yeah, it just needs a bit of effort, and then we just do it.
Yeah, excellent. So for those viewers who are watching and you know of a hawker or you know of a charity organization that might benefit from this, feel free to drop it in the comments below. I'll consolidate and I'll let Sean know. So we'll move on to the second story that you mentioned about the beauty contest, the Miss World, is it?
Yeah,
just share a little bit more about that.
Okay. I have been involved in the beauty pageant as a judge, as a presenter, as an organizer for almost 20 years. Yeah. The pageant industry is a very difficult industry to manage because it's a competition and it's a very, very stressful competition. Right, but all along I've been a judge, so quite easy for me. It's basically during the grand final, I just go there and then I just mark the points. But I didn't realize that actually a pageant, after I got involved in Miss World pageant, realized that they have a very, very much bigger purpose than what I used to understand. Miss World focuses on beauty with a purpose. And originally I thought it's just like a slogan, and then you say, oh, okay, Lord, I do this, and then you get very beautiful pageant contestants, and then they go and do some charity project. I thought it's just going to be that simple. But after I met the founder, Mrs. Julia Morley is already 80 years old. And when I met her, she told me exactly what she wanted to do as a Beauty with a Purpose mission. I was intrigued. I was totally mesmerized by this entire mission. And what she wants to do is to save the world. And she feels that it's like me trying to do a small hawker project. For her, she wants to pull the resources from all around the world. Every single year, she wants to find very, very young and very influential young women who can represent each country to come together to form an entire community of people going out to do charity works to save the world. Wow. So her reason why she needs to run it as a Miss World beauty pageant is actually to find ambassadors for each country. And this kind of ambassador is actually a goodwill ambassador, that means a charity ambassador. So every year she will have 130 of them coming together, and the best one will become the Miss World winner. And then they will travel around the world to save the world. So after I understood it, it's actually, wow, it's amazing. It's beauty with a purpose. So in 2018, I decided to buy the license. And I decided to run it like nobody ran it before. The reason why I'm very confident nobody would have run it like that before, because I've been a judge for 20 years. And nobody has given me this kind of vision and this kind of mission, right? It's just finding somebody who looks great, who has a great wit, right? When they answer questions, they are very witty, and then somebody who is elegant, and then that's it. Just find this person. But it's beyond that. I have to find an ambassador who is willing to serve the community genuinely, even without the crown. Yeah. So I set myself this mission. I said, okay, I'm going to transform the way that Miss World Singapore will run and the way the Miss World Malaysia will run. So I ran the entire project based on a mission. So it's no longer a beauty pageant. It's now a mission, to the beauty with the purpose mission. So I scrapped swimsuit competition. No more swimsuit competition. Because to find somebody who is charitable, no need to see how good your body shape is. Not
That's true. That's true.
So no longer necessary. So we want to look for somebody who has that influence, because it's important. Because if you are a charity ambassador and you can't even convince people why you are a good ambassador, then I think it defeats the purpose. It needs to be somebody who has that that zest, that oomph, right? Yeah. So somebody who is influential. So our judging criteria totally changed. And you know, just since 2018, I was very proud to be able to collaborate together with Sian Medical Institution, which is a registered charity. And we shared the same vision. I told Dr. To that this Miss World Singapore is like none other. We are going to run it as a mission to save the world, right? So he believed in my vision, and he came on board as the official beneficiary. We worked together. In the first year, we raised $4 million.
Wow.
Yeah, $4 million to provide free healthcare for the elderly folks. And the concept was told to the world, and Mrs. Morley flew down to take a look at how we run the whole project. And she was so pleased. She went live streaming, and she went to tell everybody how wonderful this project is done in Singapore. And she says she has never seen something like that. And we have broken her record for the most amount of money raised. She told everybody. And she went back and continued to tell everybody that this beauty with a purpose mission is done correctly in Singapore. So, wow, we are so encouraged, because I just took over the license, and then we did that. And my winner for Singapore became top 40 in the world.
Wow.
For the longest time, we have no top people.
No representation inside.
Representation. Right. I don't think it is because of anything. No, I would rather say it is. I think it's because we totally understood now what this mission is, and when we do it the right way, and we really genuinely want to help the society. Our contestants just shine, right? And whatever she shares with the world of how she has engaged the elderly folks and how she has tried to impact the world, impact our own society, I think that is in line with what the judges want, and in the end we made it to the top. And the same thing happens in Malaysia. So Miss World Malaysia became a very big event in Malaysia because a lot of pageant fans. And we also run it very meaningfully. We run it with the Beauty with a Purpose projects. We supported a lot of charities in the first 2 years that we run. And we raised a lot of funds to be able to give away to these beneficiaries. And in the first year, we managed to get to top 30 in the world.
Wow.
And in the second year, the contestant, the winner from Miss World Malaysia, also got the top 30 in the world. Yeah, so
amazing.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the third year was affected by COVID, and because none of us in the world are able to travel to one spot because of the seriousness of the COVID situation. So Miss World actually stopped for 1 year, the World Final. So at the same time, we just stopped for our Miss World Singapore and Miss World Malaysia last year. Yeah. So this year, Miss World, the grand final will be held in Puerto Rico. It's a 70th anniversary. So I'm going to be there if possible. Yeah,
fingers crossed. Hopefully.
Yeah, I want to have representatives to go there as well.
Yeah.
So this year we are going to run Miss World Singapore and Miss World Malaysia virtually. Why virtually? Because we don't want to be responsible of forming clusters. Yeah, because our kind of event is really quite loud, and a lot of people will come. Yeah, and everybody will come, especially in Malaysia, everybody comes from different states. Yeah, and then it's so difficult to manage COVID situation if there are so many people coming.
Correct.
Then, to play safe, to protect the welfare and the safety of the contestants, we are going to do it live on my hyperlive.tv.
Yeah, amazing. But what I like actually is Sean, you actually redefine what beauty pageants is, and it has given a very much deeper meaning to beauty pageants, and the purpose is really much clearer and really what the world needs at this moment.
Yes. Yeah, but I don't think I'm not the one who started this concept. It was originally like that.
Yeah.
But along the way, it has become a beauty selection contest, right? So everybody selects a beauty queen in their own opinions. Got to be very gorgeous. The face got to be good. Then got to have a good heart. Yeah, but that is correct. For the past many years, when I was a judge, that's what they also told me. But they didn't tell me that contestant is going to become an ambassador for the world, to be able to save the world. So when it becomes a big picture like that, our criteria totally change, right?
Yeah.
So I don't need to see a figure. I don't need to see the person in swimsuit. That's not important anymore, right? I just need to see how you will run a project. Show me exactly what you think you will do if you are the Miss World Singapore. So what kind of charity projects are you going to do that will impact lives? So I only will be interested in that. And I will be interested whether or not you have that influence. So whether you have the personality that will be charismatic, whether you're elegant when you are on stage, that you can influence people to support you. That's all I need, right? And that's in the end, I think, more important, because what we want is for people who are like-minded to come together to do something meaningful for the world. Yeah. So I didn't start that. I just interpreted the Beauty with a Purpose mission correctly. After that, then I used what has been originally there to change what has been happening in this scene, and that's all. And it seems to work very well.
Yeah. So you restored the original purpose, of
actually,
whole beauty pageant.
Because Mrs. Julia Molly is very close to me. She came down to Singapore many times to meet me, and she told me exactly what she wanted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so without that personal touch with her, I wouldn't have understood it. Yeah. So also thank her for coming to teach me how to run this the correct way. And then, of course, after she talked to me for many days when she's here together with me, I totally understood it. Yeah.
Amazing. I think this one lesson in it. I think many lessons but I think one lesson for me from this particular sharing about beauty with a purpose is that I think sometimes during this period of time, or in life, sometimes we are not clear of what is our purpose. So if we are not clear of what is our purpose and we let other people define purpose and impose their expectations to us, that's why you can find ourselves being stuck inside the rat race or literally running around in circles.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I'm very fortunate because I happen to mix around with people who are like-minded. So they are charitable in nature. So they influence me in a certain way. So I started to direct myself in a different way. Yeah. So I think what I would suggest people to do is to mix around with people who are very charitable. They have really a very different mindset altogether. Yeah.
Correct.
So I'm very fortunate because in my journey as an entrepreneur, of course I can mix around with people who just party all day as an entertainer. Well, I can do that, right? But I happen to like community work very much. So I'm always together with philanthropies. I'm always together with people who are always serving the community. After a while, you get also influenced, as you say.
Correct,
I just spare some time to do that together with you. Yeah.
Yes.
And then they don't let you go. After you are inside, they'll say, no, you cannot be busy. You must do this, do this, do this. So if you mix around with people like that, very positive minded, and they have a mission in life, I think your own life will become also redirected and you will serve a bigger purpose. Yeah.
Correct. Absolutely.
Yeah. So despite my businesses being very badly affected, the bigger purpose drives me on.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel that my life is very meaningful.
Amazing.
Yeah. So I think it's just a perspective of what we see life as, right?
Correct.
We should not be too troubled by things that are happening in our lives. Sometimes bad things do happen, right? But we need to see beyond that and find a bigger purpose that will continue to drive you onwards. And then over time, strangely, all these little things that are bothering us will no longer it's no longer important.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, once you cross that hurdle, actually you will realize that that little obstacle that was presented to me actually didn't mean anything. Yeah.
Yes. It's literally about talking about your beauty pageant. So people, originally the intention for the beauty pageant is to focus on the qualities on the inside, but then along the way the definition gets corrupted. But now you have restored it back to the original, which is the same as our life as well. So if we just look at the surface, we look at the outer appearances, we pursue things, I myself included, we pursue things that are very temporal, that won't matter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
things like fame, things like achievements, awards, things like material stuff, all this at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. But what really matters, like what you say, beauty with your purpose, the purpose, and what is the legacy that you want to leave behind? What's the impact that you want to leave behind?
Yeah, that's true. So if you have done a lot of this kind of community work, you find a lot of meaning in your life. And when you see some of the beneficiaries smiling back at you and thanking you, and then you realize that actually, if you didn't take that step to support them, they will not be as happy as now. Then you realize that you should spend more time to continue building that. Yeah, and I found that very meaningful over the past years. So despite all kinds of crazy things that are happening in my life, so I decided that, well, I should still spare a lot of time to go and do this. But I'm also very fortunate because while I want to do this, I transform my passion to build something that is linked to this bigger purpose, right? So I like producing shows, I like entertainment stuff. So I don't have to forego that. So what I did, I produced a show to be able to do this, right? To run an initiative. Yeah, so I think all of us, we can think out of the box and find meaning in what you do and still find passion in what you do and just tweak the way that you do things. So you are doing something that you love, but you are able to have the outcome of supporting some people. Right?
Yes.
So I call it business with a purpose.
Business with a purpose.
Whatever business I want to do, what's the purpose? So the business with a purpose is more important than the business itself.
Amazing. Yeah, it's the intersection now, the three P's or the ikigai lah. So it's about your passion, your purpose, and of course at the end of the day, if it's a business, it has to have profit lah. So the profit will give you the resources to then channel it to fulfill your purpose and to pursue your passion.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, but we all believe that profits, if you do everything right, eventually will come,
Yes,
right?
eventually
Yeah.
you come. Yeah,
Yeah.
eventually you come. Agree.
Yeah, but during pandemic, you do everything right, also may not come, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So while that is happening, we find a bigger purpose. So we hibernate lah. So while
Hibernate.
we're doing it, we know the profits will come much later, but we find meaning and we are able to move on, right? Yeah, but we also believe that if we continue to do the right things, eventually we will reach that goal, although delayed, but it will eventually still come. Yeah,
Yes.
so I think everybody should live life positively that way. Yeah, don't always just look at the profits before you do something, right? Because sometimes that is necessary for you to just drag on, and eventually the fruits will come. You just need to tahan long enough.
Yep, need tahan long enough.
Yeah. But every step that you take that is positive, I think it will move you towards your goal. Yeah. So all of us, after going through so much, then we also realized that it is to some extent this kind of statement that I made just now has some facts to it. Just keep yourself positive and keep moving. Yeah.
Yes.
Don't stop.
Yes, amen. Okay, I think we have kind of exceeded our time, but it's a very fun chat. But one thing, Sean, what advice do you have for those people who are going through a tough time right now? Yeah, I think you have a lot of advice, but one final word for people who are going through tough time.
I think, of course, easier said than done. First, you need to embrace change, right? We are now in the new normal.
Right.
A lot of things will not go back to the original state it is. Yeah, so we need to try to not complain about the situation already, right? We need to accept that it is now a new normal and we need to change. And how you change is also important, right? You can either be in a better situation if you change for the better, or it can be worse if you start to think that everything is no longer like what it is used to be, and then you start to slow down and all. So I think the first thing we all need to do is to embrace change. So that in itself, there are a few things that we need to do. And I did that, even though reluctant. I need to first look at what is no longer possible in the near future. Okay, don't think of the future as 20, 30 years. It will one day come back. But now you need to survive. So don't think of what, just think of changing it because you foresee that in the near future it's no longer going to go back to a state. Then start to train yourself up, pick up skills that are important for the new normal, right? If you are not a digital person, start to understand technology and start to learn, right? I have no knowledge of live streaming. I'm not a tech person, but no choice. My events no longer can happen, and I don't see any much hope in the near future that it will go back to my state, the original state that I did event. So I pivoted by learning. So I picked up skills. I went to classes. I went through classes at 12 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Wow.
At 3 a.m. So I went through 3 hours training every single night for one entire month just to learn technology from overseas. So then I went to learn from the local institutions. I picked up some skills here and there. And then after that, I started to try. And when I try, I realized that it's a bigger audience now. I will start to learn. But I learned it the difficult way. I went to buy things online to see how it works. So I went one big scale to relearn everything that I had never learned before, right? I mean, we all never played with all this kind of technology things.
Correct.
Embrace change. So my advice is really like that, right? Whatever situation we are in, it has happened, and no point that we keep wanting to go back to that things that will never happen again. So we embrace change. We pick up skills. We learn. If you need to go for training, go for training, and we start to upgrade ourselves, upskill ourselves, reskill ourselves, so that we can pick up some things that will come in the near future, rather than go back to the old state. right? And this new future that we are talking about could even bring you further in your life than you never have expected, right? Because technology has played a big part for development now, right?
Yep.
Last time you won't use Zoom.
Yep.
Last time you
Yep.
will not understand StreamYard, right? But today you understand this, and it's all because of technology. Now all of us, we can use a phone to do QR code scanning. Last time you tell me to scan, I won't bother to scan. You tell me to read the menu, you tell me to go to a restaurant and scan the menu and order food from the restaurant. I will complain to the restaurant manager and say, your service
Why
very
you
bad.
don't give me menu?
Yeah, now I won't. I will scan quite go and press it, then I'll order the food. Right? It's like that. So the new normal, we just need to do that. Right? But of course, keep yourself positive. Even if you're not fast in changing, never mind, just keep positive. Just keep trying to learn something new every single day. The good days will come, right? As the economy picks up, there will be new jobs coming, there will be new businesses that will have given us opportunities. And with some new skills, you'll be moving faster than before, right? So just keep positive and be resilient, right? Don't ever give up, because the world is still a beautiful place. Don't be absorbed into a depressive state, right? Don't think negatively, because everybody is going through the same situation, right? So all of us, we just need to be positive and be a happy person, right? So continue believing that tomorrow is a better day and just continue striving, right? So it will never go wrong, because we have gone through many crises already, and tomorrow is always a better day, right? So just keep going and going.
Yeah, I think I love this year's National Day song. We have done it before, we will do it again. Yeah, I think that's very important.
Very true. Yeah, my whole life is all about doing that over and over.
Yeah, the previous interview we actually explored about Sean's life crisis. So this one is a bit different. But if you want to find out what actually Sean went through, you watch the previous interview that I did with the Hua Chong celebration. If you want to connect with Sean, please drop by his website, or you can find him on Facebook. His website is www.sean.sg. And also, please check out his Hyperlife TV. It'll be the next big thing.
Hyperlife.tv.
Hyperlife.tv.
We run the SG Life initiative. So we put resources together. We have variety shows, and celebrities will always come on board to come and do some shows together with us. So it's entertaining. There's going to be shoppertainment inside. There's going to be edutainment inside. There's going to be socialtainment inside. So all in one, right? So just continue to follow us.
Yes, all right. Okay, so that's it for today. Sean, thank you for your time, and thanks guys for tuning in to the Happy Coach Show. And next week we actually have managed to get in touch with one of our Paralympian. His name is Steve T, and he's competing. He's a cyclist, so of course he's visually impaired. So I managed to invite him to join us in our show. And for today, thanks Sean for all your exciting stories and all your wonderful takeaways. There's so much to digest. And for those of you who are going through a tough time, tough times don't last, but tough people do.
Tough people do. Yes. Thank you so much, Yuan Tai. Be happy.
All right. Good night. See you.
Bye-bye.